Have you ever sat down at your desk and looked at your to-do list and thought, well, where do I even start? Right? Maybe you've got a million things pulling at you. Could be a client saying, hey, can you make a quick change for me? Which is never, ever really like a quick change. Or you have emails that are piling up like an avalanche. And there's going to be like that one web design project that is still sat on your desk or on your hard drive, and you should have got it finished a long time ago, but you still haven't done it. Yeah, I've been there. We've all been there. This is where you may need something like the Eisenhower Matrix. It's like having a personal assistant in your brain telling you what to focus on, what tasks are going to help you to become more productive. So let's break down the Eisenhower Matrix. What is it? How does it work? And most importantly, how can you use it to stay on top in your creative business? The Eisenhower Matrix is a really fancy name for a really simple concept. It's something you've come across before, but I'm going to break it down for you. Everything you do falls into 4 categories. The first one is important and urgent. Basically, do it now. The second is important but not urgent, so you can probably schedule to do it later on. The third one is not important, but it is urgent, so maybe you might want to delegate it. And then you have the last one, not important and not urgent. Basically, they're the tasks you can just not bother about, delete it. Don't even think about it. This all might sound really straightforward, but a lot of people can mess this up. Look, as web designers or creative people, we don't have loads of time to spend wasting it on things that actually weren't a priority or weren't going to actually return of investment for us in terms of the amount of time we spend on it. Let's have a deeper look at Quadrant 1, important and urgent, the do it now tasks. These are the things that if we ignore them, they're going to blow up in our face. Okay, they are both urgent and important. They need our attention immediately. It could be something like a client's website has gone down and they're freaking out. You got to sort it out, right? You don't leave them hanging and say, I'll get back to you next week. Maybe you've got a big deadline due today and your work isn't finished. Well, go on, get on with the work, hit the deadline. Or maybe there's like a bug or malware that's messing up your website or someone else's website that's just been launched. Maybe the SEO you did and it hasn't gone through. Sort them out. This is all of the stuff that's going to keep you awake at night if you don't handle it. Now, a lot of people actually live in Quadrant 1 because they didn't plan ahead. They're constantly putting out fires because they didn't handle things properly. Now, this leads us onto Quadrant number 2, the things that are important but not urgent. This is known as the schedule tasks. Now, Quadrant 2 is where the magic happens. Like, this is the thing that's going to change the way you work and help you out for the future. These are the tasks that won't kill or bite you if you don't do them right now, but they are crucial for your long-term success. The problem is that a lot of people ignore these tasks because they're not completely important, and sometimes they're thinking too short-term rather than long-term. So it could be something like learning a new design technique or some CSS or some coding skills. How many of you put that off? It could be creating templates or systems to speed up your workflow. Again, a lot of people kind of keep creating from scratch without thinking about templates. Maybe it's about updating your portfolio so that you can attract new clients. Loads of people put that off. Or what about marketing your business? You know, social media, reaching out, referrals, things like that. If you did all of those things consistently, or you set aside some time to handle them, it could help you to stay out of Quadrant number 1. You have to kind of schedule these tasks in. So you have to say, I am going to put aside this amount of time for learning, for watching YouTube videos. You've got to schedule the time in, but believe me, it will help you out. Now, Quadrant 3 is the not important, but urgent. So these are things that you can actually delegate. In some ways, I think of them as distractions because they feel important, because they're urgent, right? We think they're important, but actually they're not that important. And you don't need to do them. someone else can do it for you. This is where AI can come in, right? The whole thing about AI making things more efficient. These are things that you want to get done, but they're not completely important and they shouldn't suck up your time. It could be things like answering general email clients that don't need your expertise. Is there anyone else in your team or your network that can help you out? Maybe a partner, if you trust them. It could be fixing minor issues as well. Is there someone else that can help you out with that? It could be social media content, creating artwork, creating blog posts. You shouldn't rely completely on AI to do everything for you because it can come across as a bit fake. But there are tools out there that can support you so that you don't spend 2 hours on a blog post when you could have generated it within 5 minutes. Now, if you are spending a lot of time doing quadrant free work, you're spending your time on things that aren't really pushing your business, although you could argue that it is helping your business. The big problem here is that you might not have anyone to delegate to, like you're a one-man band. So what do you do here? Now, delegation doesn't always mean hiring someone. This is the problem. Everyone thinks, oh, delegation's got to be a bigger team. It doesn't necessarily mean that. You could look into email autoresponders. So rather than manually replying to every email, have you considered looking into that? Go on, schedule some time and look into it. What about a project management tool like Atarim or something like that? So that, you know, when your clients are contacting you and then you're getting lost with what you need to deal with, you can keep things in order. There are tools out there that you can use for free. And if you always like to build your websites a certain way, go and create some videos on Loom or with OBS or whatever you want, so that rather than like getting your clients to go and do a video call or read through a chunky FAQ, you can just direct them to videos. You could have private unlisted videos on YouTube to help your clients out. What is the ultimate goal of doing all of these things with Quadrant Free? Is to get as much stuff off your plate as possible. Quadrant 4 is my favorite. These are the things that are not important and they're not urgent. The delete it tasks. The ones where you can literally flick off your desk and go, forget it, I'm not dealing with these. This is where things go to die, right? Anything that lands in Quadrant 4, just sort of delete it, get rid of it. We are not dealing with you. Quadrant 4 is full of time wasters. These are things that are not helping you or your business in any way. But because they're easy or fun, you may keep doing them. They're not helping you out, but you'll keep doing them because you feel like, you know, I've done some work today. I've earned my wealth or whatever. What do I mean by Quadrant 4 tasks? I hope some of these hit home with you. How many of you have obsessed over the perfect shade of blue for a client's logo or a container background? And the client doesn't really care. They've told you what kind of blue they want, but you're going through every pastel shade of blue that you can. Maybe you jumped onto social media and you were looking at LinkedIn at potential businesses and you were looking at what people are posting, and then somehow you realize you spent an hour reading crap. Or you jumped over onto YouTube, but you weren't watching videos that you're learning from or helping you in your business or your coding or web design or something like that. You just ended up watching a video of someone having a walk in a field, which is okay because I sometimes do that. But did it really help you? Can you get back that 1 hour you lost? Or the most popular one for Quadrant 4, you're tweaking your own website for the 5,000th time, instead of working on client projects or reaching out to clients. Because you thought, oh, I've really got to change that hero banner. Did you really need to? Or was it kind of okay and you can get by with it? If you're really honest with yourself, you're going to find that you're spending a lot of time in Quadrant 4. And the sooner you realize that and start to cut down those tasks, or do them in your spare time where it's not eating into like your business time, it will help you to become so much more productive. Here's how you use the Eisenhower Matrix. Okay, go grab a bit of paper or do it digitally or even on Canva. Go and make a list of everything that you need to do. I mean everything, and I don't just mean about business. I'm talking about your work, your life, your family. Go and list down everything, and I don't care if the list is only 5 items or 100 items. Go and list them all down. Then start setting each of the tasks into the 4 quadrants. It might sound like, well, that's a bit difficult. seriously, when you think hard about it, you'll start to align them into what is important and what is urgent. If anything falls into quadrant number 1, do it now. Stop wasting time. Do it now, okay? If anything sits in quadrant number 2, schedule it. Tomorrow, next week, maybe even next year, okay? You don't have to do it right now, but make sure you schedule it. Quadrant number 3, delegate it. Can you find an AI tool or something else within your tech or your gear that's going to help you out? And quadrant number 4, fucking get rid of it, right? Delete it off your desk, chuck it away, put it in the bin, right? It's not worth your time. Stick to this Eisenhower Matrix plan. When something new comes up in your life or your business, decide where it goes. Because I often get contacted by people, oh, there's a meetup happening here, over here, there's a family function going on, and I assess it. Do I need to be there? Or am I required somewhere else? Or have I got something else I've scheduled that I need to work on? And if it's not important, if it isn't really going to give me anything back other than the fact that I showed my face, well, do I really care? Not really. So it falls into quadrant number 4. It's a bit of a brutal way to live your life, but you know what? I'm doing okay by working to this matrix. I have found that by doing all of this, I have found myself less overwhelmed. Yes, I make a lot of enemies. Yes, some family members don't like the way I am and they say you're a bit of an outsider, but I'm happier doing the things I want to do. And it's not just in my personal life, it's my business life as well, which is why I left the NHS in 2022. I was getting a bit fed up of it, but now I'm in my happy zone, my happy place. I'm in my mojo. No, my mojo is high. I'm not going to edit any of this out. I know how it is running a creative business, okay? It can be flipping chaotic, okay? Clients want things yesterday, your inbox never stops, and it feels like there's always something to do, right? I know that feeling, but that doesn't mean I have to drown in it. That doesn't mean that all the work is going to cave in on top of me. The Eisenhower Matrix is a simple tool. But if you use it consistently, it can completely change the way you work. You'll start to focus on things that actually matter rather than putting out fires every single day. So the next time you're staring at your to-do list, wondering where do I start, pull out the matrix, sort out your tasks, and get back to doing work that makes a difference. I'm Imran from Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share, and follow. I'll see you soon.